Hey there, YouTube. How you guys doing today? We're here on my website. I just want to let you guys know Steamboat still has not erupted. It is still at the tie, but the last eruption was August 20th, and usually if it adheres to its normal schedule, it erupts every 6 to 7 days. And right now it's 4:10 p.m. Pacific Time, August 26, 2019. So we could see it in the next 24 to 48 hours. I'm thinking it probably will happen tonight or tomorrow morning. So just keep an eye out on my Steamboat Geyser page if you guys want to see the plots. I always update it right when I see a Steamboat Geyser eruption occur. I always try to do it as fast as I possibly can just for those monitoring Steamboat out there. Again, the last eruption was on August 20th. It's August 26th right now. And the last eruption was the 32nd eruption, making it a tie for 2018 and 2019 for the all-time yearly records. And we're about to beat it in less than a day, I believe, guys. Here's the recent Caldera Chronicles, published today, August 26, 2019. Yellowstone's newest thermal area, an up-close and personal visit. I'm going to leave a link to this in the description box below, so you can skip this part if you want to. I'm just going to read this article just real quick, so you can just go read it yourself if you want to skip this part. But remember that new thermal area that they talked about earlier this year near West Turn Lake, which is on the, I believe that's the northeast section of the Sour Creek Resurgent Dome, just northeast of Yellowstone Lake, at Yellowstone Caldera Supervolcano. Well, they had a new thermal area, and we're going to check out what they're writing about it. Earlier this year, an issue of Yellowstone Caldera Chronicles reported on the discovery of an emerging thermal area within Yellowstone National Park. The area was identified in thermal infrared imagery as a region of warm ground that was not in the park's database of known thermal features. It is located along the northeast boundary of the Sour Creek Resurgent Dome near West Turn Lake, and it appears to be an extension of the previously known Turn Lake thermal area. In this image you see right here, guys, right here is the brand new thermal area. Well, been growing over the past decade or so, but still it's past 10 to 20 years, but still, that's technically new for a thermal area. So it is a baby, a baby thermal area. And we see West Turn Lake is right here, and the already known thermal area, the Turn Lake thermal area, is right there. But yeah, this area is the new one. Now, let's see if it'll close out. A review of archived aerial photos taken by the Department of Agriculture revealed that the thermal area was a hillside of healthy trees in the 1990s. We don't know its exact birthday, but satellite imagery acquired in summer 2001 show the first evidence of trees beginning to die. So probably around 2000-2001 is when the thermal area started to grow, guys. By 2006, there's an increasingly large zone of dead or dying trees and a measurable thermal anomaly at the surface. By 2009, the ground had the white chalky color that is typical of many other thermal areas in the park. To better understand the characteristics of the new thermal area, a team of USGS and Yellowstone National Park scientists visited the site last week. They mapped the extent of the area, acquired air and ground-based thermal infrared and visible imagery, and took the temperature of the subsurface using a handheld thermistor. Thermistor? Okay, that was weird. I thought I was going to say thermometer for a second. There was no water discharge from this new thermal area, but there was an arc-shaped core of warm ground. 70 to 80 degrees Celsius at the surface that was covered in fallen trees. This zone was surrounded by cooler ground that was also littered with recently fallen trees. Within the worst area, there were steam emissions from several points and sulfur crystals lined some of the steaming areas. The ground temperature in these fumaroles was about 92 degrees Celsius, which would be about 198 degrees Fahrenheit, the boiling temperature at that elevation, which at that elevation would be about 8,000 feet. Throughout this zone, just 5 to 10 centimeters below the surface, the temperatures were consistently boiling. The ground was so warm that parts of some fallen trees had actually become charcoal. The sides of fallen trees against the warm ground are baked and blackened, while the sides facing the sky are unburned. In the cooler zone, some parts of the ground were at background temperatures. Amazingly, though, in a few places, ground temperatures of only 77 degrees Fahrenheit were just a few feet away from temperatures of 198 degrees Fahrenheit. The fallen trees in these cooler regions were unburned, and new trees were growing. What? And here you can see what used to be the nice, beautiful forest right there on the hillside, and it's now dead because of the new Turn Lake thermal area. These observations raised many questions about the formation and evolution of the thermal area. Was a slug of gas released over a broad area, first followed by more localized ground heating? Surface warming accompanied gas discharge. Excuse me, sorry, I'm having a little bit of trouble talking today, guys, sorry. What killed the trees, the gases, or the heat, or both? And why is the vegetation in some areas already recovering? One hypothesis is that over time, high temperatures were localized around pre-existing weak zones underground, for example, along existing cracks or other geological structures. This progression is the reason that we see a broad area of tree kill now, but boiling temperatures only in the core of the new thermal area. While in this region of the park, the research team also took the opportunity to visit other thermal areas that have long been known, but are seldom visited due to their remote location. Remember, guys, people can't trek out there all the time. It's wilderness. Very, very wilderness-y out there, guys. I mean, some of the hikes, you gotta hike all day just to get to one thermal area. I mean, it's pretty remote, some of the spots in Yellowstone, guys. It's not just all, oh, we could drive here, oh, we could drive there. No, it's a forest. Mud pots, hot spring pools, and boiling fumaroles characterize these thermal areas, but there are also some zones that have clearly cooled down over time. These areas contain the telltale white hydrothermal mineral deposits, but no longer have elevated temperatures, gases, or hot springs, and young trees are growing. Very interesting. And right here we see an infrared image right here. This is the hot patch. You can see right through here. You notice that. And then here is the image right here. Try to zoom in a little bit. This is the new Turn Lake area, right? The Turn Lake thermal area, excuse me, the new one. And you can see a little bit of steaming right in the center of the photograph, right there. And over here again, remember, blue and purple is colder, and hot would be, of course, yellow and white. So, very intriguing, guys. Very, very intriguing. Dynamic is the name of the game in Yellowstone, especially when it comes to thermal features, which can change rapidly. Sometimes they heat up, like the North Geyser Basin did in 2003, and other times they cool down, which is evident from the countless dead thermal areas. Places of altered whitish ground, but without elevated temperatures or discharge of gas or water. The appearance of the new feature near West Turn Lake is not an indication of heightened volcanic activity, obviously because it'd have to be coincided with large increase in seismicity and uplift as well, but rather as part of the life cycle of Yellowstone's dynamic hydrothermal systems. However, someday, guys, we probably will see some geysers erupt out of here, and the first time a geyser erupts, I don't think we really know what's going to happen. I mean, this whole area could become a big, well, not big, but it could become a lake someday. Because other places have had large hydrothermal explosions, not eruptions, but hydrothermal explosions, and formed kind of like a crater and then became a little tiny pond or a lake. That does happen from time to time, guys. So that is very possible that it could happen right there sometime in the future. Who knows when, but just keep an eye out for that, because it's possible. We have been lucky to witness the birth of a brand new thermal area, and have been able to collect and visit data and observations early in its life. Now stay tuned for future issues, blah, 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 blah. Okay,